All right, hey guys, what's up? Eric Jones here,
My name's Kayla Knorr.
and today we're talking about Fretwraps.
Yeah, these are pretty cool. I had a friend of mine who suggested, or he used these, and he suggested I try them. Essentially, the whole point of them is to throw them around the headstock just above the nut, underneath the tuners, to kind of mute any unwanted sustaining noise from the strings that go past the nut. So if you're doing like palm mutes and stuff, it's a lot tighter, a lot just less transient kind of ringing from the guitar. It's really good for recording and tracking, so it's great in those environments. And Eric had the great idea of wondering, do these actually make a difference? Are they worth the few bucks that they cost? You know,
Roughly like $12.
Yeah, $12. Yeah.
And real quickly, I want to apologize. This video's been a long time coming, and I accidentally ordered the wrong size. Apparently,
They're pissed, Eric. So upset.
Well, so I
Failed them.
I ordered.
What? You cut me off in the last video.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. So I ordered the size for a 5-string bass and not a 6-string guitar. And so I ordered a 6-string one, and I was thinking, do these work? Do they even make a difference? I see tons of people using them, and I'm never quite confident it's worth doing. I love Les Pauls, and I love classy looking guitars, and the idea of something like this on a headstock just kind of miffs me a little bit. And so I thought I'd have my buddy Kalen come over, and we would talk about and demo these guys on an actual guitar and seeing if we can hear a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
And for the sake of this video, I suggest using good speakers or headphones because there are going to be some differences, and they're going to be hard to hear unless you are rocking headphones. But once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. This is what I'm finding.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is weird because we were kind of like setting things up initially, and we actually filmed a full section based on me just kind of jamming through the monitors. And we're like, and we came to a certain conclusion, and then we're like, well, let's listen to them in headphones. And whenever I was kind of demoing out a little bit more in front of the camera, we noticed it was a very different result when we listened to them in like listen to them under a microscope where we can really hear in headphones really nicely. So definitely recommend it.
And also hearing them without the guitar in the room making the actual
That's
sound.
true. Yeah, for sure.
Because, when you're playing a guitar, there's a little bit of that acoustic element in the space, at a reasonable volume. And so at these clips you're about to see, you're going to get to hear just what happens when you record a sound and what a guitar is actually doing.
Right.
So in this video, we demo 3 different guitars. And so, Kalen, you are playing a...
The first one is a PRS Standard 22 Satin Core Series. The second was a Fender Hot Rodded Limited Edition Telly Reclaimed Redwood. And then the third one was...
my Les Paul Studio, which is a 2018 model, and there's a video coming out next week about that because that thing is cool.
It is awesome, despite current popular Gibson belief. That guitar is so sick.
So on the PRS, for those that are unaware, the tremolo in it is held together by 4 springs.
Yeah, we have 4 springs in the back of that guitar, which is actually kind of unique for that guitar. It's the only one I've seen with the trim system on it. And when I was kind of checking levels and stuff, we noticed there was a lot of excess ringing that I literally felt from the springs. And I had the idea. I was like, what if we put a fret wrap on the springs in the back of my guitar? I wonder if that would help on that end too. So we were like, well, let's try it. And as you'll see in the video, we put that in there, and I think that was a cool idea, and I think it definitely benefited the sound of the guitar for sure.
For sure. So let's check out these sounds.
So at the PRS, we noticed a drastic difference, especially when I had the idea of putting a fret wrap on the springs that are in the back of the trim system. I was noticing a lot of resonance off of them whenever I was playing, and I thought, man, maybe one of these could be used to help cut that down, and it made a massive difference. It blew me away. What did you think? Yeah.
I had headphones on over there tracking, and essentially when we started playing, I was like it was just such a huge difference, and it was actually kind of a hassle to get the fret wrap in there.
Yeah.
And so if that's something that you have on a guitar of yours, and you think, oh my God, that's a huge difference, I want to do that. Something as simple as like a guitar cloth, inside, like wrapped around your springs inside the cavity, could do a lot. As long as you're not like doing a bunch of the tremolo stuff, because I have no idea if you're
thinking if it's a cloth like that's not like super secure on it and it's not super bulky, you honestly probably could use the trim system still.
Well, not a microfiber cloth.
Right.
It's got the little pieces that can get stuck in there, but like something
that.
that's just like a straight up piece of cloth would be great.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it made, honestly, on that guitar specifically, it made the most difference for that guitar. There definitely was a difference that was very apparent whenever we wrapped it up at the headstock. But in that guitar specifically, it made the biggest difference whenever we wrapped the springs that are inside the trim system.
For sure. And the Telly, in case you had trouble hearing it and you want to go back and listen for what we're about to say about this, with the fret wrap on, it was almost like there was a gate on the actual up there sounds that were just happening from the headstock.
Yeah, it was like a little bit with a fast attack, but with the attack rolled back a little bit. So it's like you can tell it's gating it, or like the sound of a gate essentially. But it was very quick, but there was a little bit of release time that you could hear.
Yeah, it was like boop, and it would be gone versus without, and it's just you get the pew, you get the full effect of the actual sound happening. And then with the Les Paul, that was just day and night.
Yeah, it really, I don't know, I think a lot of the resonance from the Telly came from the bridge. I think it came from the brass saddles that are on it. So I think that was contributed there on the stop tail, like Les Paul style, like the Tone Pros stop tail bridge. Mm-hmm. It really, with it being really secure and cutting down on any resonance right there, it really worked well in the headstock. And I think I've seen people, correct me if I'm wrong, like tape in the space between the actual bridge system and where the strings are held down below. I've actually seen people tape there to help cut down there as well.
I've seen people tape. I know, I think someone makes an actual foam piece that kind of just goes in there, or like a block of foam. People will just straight up put a block of foam in there.
But I felt like the difference on the headstock was the most noticeable on the Les Paul.
For sure. Mm-hmm. And so, do I think, or Kalen, do we think you should get a fret wrap?
Yes. I definitely, before making this video, we were talking about it. We were like, yeah, there might be a difference. It may, it may help, under certain situations. But, after conducting the test and listening back, it made me a big believer in these, and it's such a small expense for something that's so effective on your sound.
Yeah, like $12, like we said earlier, but
for a pack of 3, I think.
Is it?
I think.
So hop on Reverb, hop on
Guitar Center,
GuitarCenter.com, wherever your local shop might have one. These are harder to find in store.
Yeah.
But online, you can find them anywhere pretty much. Amazon. I went into this skeptical because I see people use them. And I'm always kind of like, I guess I heard a difference. But then when you actually go in and for the sake of recording, you're going to layer guitars. You're going to have that same guitar part.
And it multiplies it. That's whenever, now that I think about it, when I noticed it the most was when I was dual tracking, especially in a situation where you're quad tracking.
Yeah.
It's like all those little spaces, the transient qualities stacked upon on top of each other, you would really notice the difference in there. So it's a percentage. It's a small percentage, but if they, you add them together, it makes a much more noticeable result.
For sure. And I would choose one of those over putting a gate on the channel just because that kills your trails, that kills your effects happening in the background sometimes.
It feels better. Like, I don't really like gates that much. I don't like playing with one because they, for me, they can kind of alter the feel of the guitar and don't allow you to be as dynamic. So something that's more functional and, you know, is analog and not digital gear in a sense. Yeah, it works great, you know.
For sure. And if you want to conduct this at home yourself, but you don't want to spend money on that, get a handkerchief, get a bandana, a piece of tape. I know.
Yeah, like gaffer's tape would be great.
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video a few months back where Misha he doesn't use a fret wrap. He just gets a big slab of tape and throws it on the headstock and calls it done.
Yeah, and I know Fluff, who has another YouTube channel, Ryan Bruce. You may have heard of him. I know in his early days. To go back to his like really far beginning videos, he promoted the Jimmy clip, which is a similar thing. It's just like a little metal clip that clips over that section. Does a very, very similar thing. So Jimmy clip's cool too.
Very cool. Well, I hope this video was informative and you guys have a wonderful day.
Yeah, or night, or whenever watching this video.
Yeah, evening, late lunch, a brunch.
4:32 in the afternoon, or a.m. Bye.